Most people hate Bulgarians because they set up incorrectly and lose balance before their working leg even gets started. In 10 seconds, I'll show you the fastest way to get into position and all the other things you can use to tailor this exercise to maximize your gains. Here we go. Let's get straight into it. Here we go. All right, folks, we are starting with the setup. Now, setup is always where I start on exercise form. I think it's probably even more important with the Bulgarian split squat because it's going to save you all of the issues that you will potentially have with the Bulgarian split squat. So, in order to, let me put this down. In order to easily get into position, this will take you 10 seconds. Take your working leg, throw it straight out, fully extend, go into a standing position, back leg goes up, and then you're in the right spot. Now, you can inch your leg a little bit or your foot a little bit further out. If you're trying to get the shins vertical, you can inch your foot a little further back if you're trying to get the knees past the toes. But either way, starting here is about as good as it's going to get. The other thing this will do for you is it will standardize your form across the board. So we don't really want to have the foot further forward on some sets, further back on some sets, because then we can't rely on any strength increases being due to muscle growth. It might just be that you change the form up a little bit and you're stronger in that position than you are in the other. So to standardize your form so we can look at your progressions objectively and know that we're progressing, I would say go with this. Another thing people struggle with the setup is whether they should go with the top of their foot on the bench or their toe on the bench. It's a question I used to get quite a bit during my personal training days. Either one is fine, neither is incorrect or correct. Just use preference. I like to do top of my foot on the bench. That's just the way I've always done it. If you feel more comfortable with going toes down on the bench, that's fine too. I would say experiment with both, and once you kind of take to one, then just stick with that going forward. No need to change it. Another note on your setup will be the height of the bench or box that you're using for the Bulgarian split squat. Now, there's no research and not really any reason that I can think of, maybe there is, but no reason I can think of why you necessarily would go higher as opposed to lower. Because that front leg is the one that's doing all the work. The back leg is stretching at the quad, but most of the tension is going on that front leg. So really the only difference between a higher box and a lower box, or higher bench, lower bench, will be your mobility abilities with that back leg. The higher up it is, the harder it's gonna be mobility wise for you to hit depth. The lower, the easier. So generally speaking, a regular bench height is good for most people. If you are a little bit shorter than average, then I would say go a little bit lower. If you're taller than average, go a little bit higher. But again, outside of that, there's not really any reason to go higher or lower. It's just comfort. Now that we've got your setup down, we're gonna go into performing the actual exercise. So we get into position and we start to sink down. Now you want to avoid letting your heels pop up like so, and you'll know that your leg is too far back if your heel just naturally pops up as you go down. That's too far back. Shouldn't be a problem with the setup, but just keep that in mind. And we also want to look for hitting parallel depth at least a parallel. If you can go lower than parallel, fantastic, but you're aiming for parallel. Parallel means your hamstring is parallel with the ground. So we don't want to short our range of motion at the hip or the knee and stop all the way up here, all the way to this point. And then as you press through your heel, you just want to go all the way back up to a stand. No need to shoot your hips all the way forward. There's no tension on the muscles up here anyway. And all you'll do is hyperextend your spine. So just go up to a stand and then you're good. Now, this is also where a little bit of customization comes into play. There is some research demonstrating that your trunk position, so your torso position, is going to help dictate where the tension is going to go. So what that would look like is, if you want more glute on the exercise, lean further forward as you're squatting down. So you see this angle here, I've got my ribs all the way to my quads, my hip is pushed really far back. That glute is very lengthened in this position. So you shift the torso forward, shift the hips back, get more glute. If you want to get more quad out of the exercise, shift the hips forward. You see my knee traveled all the way forward when doing that. So we'll get a longer range of motion at the knee. So straight up, hips forward, knees forward if you want quad, torso forward, hips back, knees back if you want more glute. Now, next we are going to be talking about balance, and this is going to kind of wrap into progressions. So if you've never done this exercise before, this is where I would recommend you start. Instead of just trying to do these body weight, what you can do is get next to something stable. A barbell rack or machine or whatever it might be if you're at the gym. If you're at home, you can hold on to your couch or to your, I don't know, a table or a cabinet, whatever. And this will fix your balance issue because you'll have help. So always do the working leg on the outside of the side that you're holding on to. So holding on with my left arm, right leg will be the working leg. This will fix your balance issues that you might be having with this exercise and help you get stronger at performing this motion before we progress to the next thing, which would be a stick. Now again, same concept, holding on, left arm, right leg is working, or vice versa. Now, stick obviously is going to be less stable than holding on to a barbell rack, but this will still give you some help with the balance, help you get to depth, help get your nervous system used to performing this motion and balancing. Another tip on balance is when you set up for the exercise, make sure you don't go with a straight line between your feet. I see some people make this mistake. This back leg is too far over, and so they have a straight line between their feet, and obviously that's gonna make you a little more wobbly. You want a hip width distance between your feet. So your back foot should be a little bit to the left or to the right of your working leg. This will give you a wider base of support. And last tip on balance, before we get to the rest of the progressions, are shoes. I like squat shoes. I've used the Addy Powers, the Romaleos, other such gym equipment shoe things, whatever. Now, nice thing about these is that they have a really wide base of support. They also lift the heel up. So this will help you pitch your knees a little bit further forward. This helps for somebody like me who wants to get more quad than glute out of pretty much all the leg exercises that I do. But for the purposes of this, the wider base of support will help you stay balanced. You can also go with a grounded shoe, like our new partner, Grounds, that has absolutely no sole in the shoe, so you're totally flat on the ground. Now, I'd recommend that for people who are trying to get more glute out of the exercise, but what I would recommend against is using like a running shoe when you're lifting. You're gonna get this additional cushion in the shoe, and the problem with that is, if you can imagine trying to do this exercise on your bed, right? You've got that additional cushion, it's gonna make you more wobbly. So either a shoe that's built for squatting, like a Romaleo, an Addy Power, or a shoe with no sole, no cushion in it at all, like our new partner, Grounds. Moving on. All right, let's run through the rest of our progression. So Your starting point is holding on to a rack or something stable. Your next one will be holding on to a stick. We already covered those things. Next would be just doing these body weight. And once you get to a point where you can do 2-3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, no problem, time to start loading it. Now, you can load in several different ways, but your main ways are dumbbell, kettlebell, and barbell. One tip I have for you with dumbbells and kettlebells, if you're going to be holding them down by your sides, is position the dumbbells or kettlebells where that foot is going to go. Go up into position here, lift your dumbbells, and then you're good to start. This is way better than what you usually see with dumbbells, where somebody starts with the 2 dumbbells and then they try to measure, and then, okay, that's too far back. Let me go a little further forward, and then, okay, that's about right. You're gonna lose energy, so to speak, doing it that way. So set up the dumbbells right where your foot extends, go out, grab them, and then begin your set. It's the smoothest way to do it. Now, you also can, with a dumbbell or with kettlebells, go with I just hit the shit out of my knee. Oh my God. I'm gonna power through for the people. You can hold in a goblet position or a front rack position with those kettlebells. And what this will do, if you're seeking more quad growth, this is gonna force you more upright than forward than holding the dumbbell down here will. So consider this if you are looking for more quad growth. Your final progression would be with a barbell, where you go bar on your back and then you go through the setup the exact same way, bounce up into your starting position, and then begin. Obviously, barbells in most gyms start at 45 pounds or 20 kilos. So a bit much, but what's nice about the barbell is you can micro load it. You can add very tiny amounts of weight over time. Whereas with dumbbells, you have really a 10-pound minimum that you have to go up if you're holding 2. If you're in the goblet position, only 5, but eventually you're gonna need to progress up further to holding 2 dumbbells, because eventually you'll get strong enough at this that just holding 1 dumbbell up here is not gonna be enough weight for you. And I want that for you. I do, I want that for you. You're gonna get there. It's gonna take time, but you know, all good things do. All right, folks, that's it for today's video. To summarize, nail your setup, bias towards quads and glutes, and then be successful and grow your legs. I'm Coach Ty with MuscleWiki. I will see you with the next one. Deuces.